Hello, Dave Kenworthy here, 11:44 on the 18th of the 10th, 2021. Today we're looking at Stukeley's Stonehenge, an unpublished manuscript, edited by Aubrey Burl and Neil Mortimer. And if you're an archaeologist and you haven't got this book and you want to understand Stonehenge, then you must get a copy. You must also get a copy of this book, Stonehenge by Aubrey Burl. Now, Aubrey Burl's involved in both books, and I'm going to show you now something that really I find surprising, that Aubrey Burl missed this when he prepared his book. But he was looking at the avenue at Stonehenge, and he noticed in Stukeley's diagram of Stonehenge that the post holes were running along parallel to each other along the avenue, so that we know for sure, based on this diagram, that when you walk towards the midwinter sunset, you were walking along through the fading light. You were walking along past these standing stones along each side of the avenue, to enter the sacred circle, which is here, the Sarsen Circle. And what Stukeley has missed, or he's discounted, not Stukeley, sorry, Burl has discounted, are these two circles. And we know Stukeley was working at a time of extreme drought. And this circle is the Aubrey Circle, the inner one, because in the quadrant arc of this, there are 14 post holes. But in the quadrant arc of this one, there are 13 post holes. And what I did when I saw this book is I photocopied a page and I cut it into the quadrant arc like that. So if we go down again, you can see what I've done. I've cut it down here like this. I've taken exactly a quarter of it to see what happened, to see if there was this 13-14 relationship on the quadrant arc, and there it is. On the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. And on the inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14. So there we go. And this is a crucial piece of evidence in understanding Stonehenge. I mean, we're always thinking that we're working with 56 post holes in the Aubrey and that's it. But certainly it isn't, if this evidence is anything to go by. So there's no numbers here apart from 14 and 13. There's no mathematics. But there is when we get back to Stukeley's Stonehenge. And really, this is absolutely first class. This book, this analysis of Stukeley's findings, and we start with a note to the reader. In the text of the manuscript that follows, 3 matters require explanation. 1, measurements. In his manuscript, Stukeley expressed distances in the imperial units of miles, yards, feet, and inches. He also used the ancient body measurements of cubits and palms. Stukeley's Druid cubit of 20.8 inches, 1 foot 8 3/4 inches, is 0.53 meters. The palm of 3.5 inches, which is times 2 is 7 inches, equals 8.9 centimeters. That's what Stukeley found. And it just so happens that 20.8 inches is 1.7333 feet. .7333 feet, and now we're getting to understanding the first phase of Stonehenge using Tom and Stukeley. So we can delete that. And Stonehenge, the Aubrey circle, is designed against the scale of the two circles in Stukeley's missing manuscript. And the outer circle is 52 times 560, and the inner circle is 51 times 560 as the diameter. And 52 times 560 is 29120. Multiply that by pi as 22 over 7, we get 91520. Now, that's in 100ths of a foot, but let's just assume it's in feet, and we divide it by 5280. It's 17.33 miles. Divide it by the megalithic yard, and it doesn't go, because the megalithic yard is not designed to work with that number, because that number is the diameter of Tom Pi. And that number can also be the diameter of Stonehenge, when we have Stonehenge diameter is 286 imperial feet, which I've covered in the previous presentation. But what's really telling about this diagram is when we multiply 51 by 560, we get 28560, and we know Tom's diameter is 285.6, which is 105 megalithic yards. And it's giving this 897.6 feet circumference, which is 330 megalithic yards. So that divides perfectly. And that's why the megalithic yard is working in this circle. It doesn't work in that one, and it doesn't work in that one, but it works in this one. Because we've got 51 times 560 to give that. And then we multiply that by 22 over 7. So we're putting base 11 in there, as well as base 17. Because that's 3 times 17. And that's how it's working. That's how the design of this circle is working. If there was an inside circle inside the Aubrey, it'd be this one. 50 times 560. The diameter would be 280 feet. And the circumference would be 880, using pi as 22 over 7, which Tom tells us they were using. And this number is crucial in understanding the design of the second circle, the inner circle, the one that's been discovered. The one the archaeologists have missed is this one. Aubrey Burl was looking at the avenue, and he didn't look at the significance of what went on inside the circle, even though Stukeley's diagram tells us exactly what was going on. So this 897 is a chameleon. I call it a chameleon number because it's got so many different mathematical colours embedded in it. And 6600, which is the extended Saros, multiplied by 13.6 gives 89760. 13.6 is half a megalithic yard. And 6,800 multiplied by 13.2 gives 89760, the same number. So 6800 is the nodal cycle, and to get Tom Pi we have to divide that by the eclipse danger period. And to get pi in this system we have to divide by the week or by the full moon cycle of 28 days or 56. We can use all those different numbers. And then we come to this 89760 using variable pi. 3 versions of pi, 22 over 7, 40.8 over 1300 over 32, giving 89760 over 2912. So to get the circumference, we've got to get rid of that. So we multiply by it. And then when we multiply it, we get that divided by that to give you 89760. And finally, root 2 and root 3 built into the 2 versions of pi. Root 2 in 22 over 7 is 99 over 7, that's root 2. Multiplied by 20 over 9, we get 1980 over 630, which is 22 over 7. And then root 3, we invert root 3, so it becomes that. If we divide 1 by that, we get 1.7333, which is their approximation of root 3, which is the Druid's cubit. And we multiply that by 544 over 10, and we get 1632 over 520, which is Tom Pi. And that's how it's working. And that is the complexity that we're dealing with So let's just have a look at the Druid's cubit one more time. He says it's 20.8 inches. So it's 1.7333 feet. Now it's a cubit, and we know how many cubits there are in the Giza base. So it's 36608 units in the Giza base. And we can divide that by 1.466. And that gives our Earth's circumference in miles. And it's 40 miles short of the Great Circle of 25,000 miles. Now, when you're into metrology, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if you're an archaeologist looking at this, just look at what's in Stukeley's books. You've missed the fact that there are 52 postholes around the second circle at Stonehenge. It's there in black and white, and I'm showing it to you now. And we're missing the capabilities of these people, these designers. We're not looking at the evidence, and we should be. So that's it for now. Thank you very much.